allergies are acting up, and I've got a fan on me right now because it's so hot in my office where I'm filming. So if I look like I'm about to cry or my voice sounds a little weird, it's because my throat is really sore and my nose is stopped up and I've got the worst headache ever. Hey guys, and welcome to Face the Fiction XO. My name is Melissa, and today we're going to be reviewing the book Class Mom by Laurie Gelman. I actually picked up this book because of a referral in a Jen LANCASTER book club kind of thing on Facebook. I don't really know what it is because they don't particularly read the same books. They basically show what they're reading, and then I guess people really just refer each other to books that they loved. But I really like Jen LANCASTER. She has a really amazing sense of humor. If you've never read any of her books, you definitely should check it out. But basically people were referring to this book as being very humorous, and I needed something like that after reading so many books that were very kind of heavy and emotional. I just needed something to basically cut the fat. So I picked up this book and I wasn't sure what to expect from it. If you don't know, I do have 2 children. They're not biologically mine. They are stepchildren. I do call them half kids because I feel like that's a much better term than stepchildren. But I've never really raised children from a very small age. And this dealt with a mom that had a child in like 1st or 2nd grade. And basically the issues that she had with being a class mom for this child. So with that being said, as someone that hasn't been through that, I really enjoyed this book. I thought it was very funny. I thought that there was a lot of moments that people that are in my particular circumstance would enjoy, but probably someone that has been there probably will enjoy it a little bit more. But it basically starts with a character named Jen Dixon, and she had children when she was young. So she has 2 twin girls that are college aged. And then she remarried and she has a younger son named Max. And basically the storyline revolves around Max's classroom. So Jen is basically nominated to be class mom. And in my opinion, she does a pretty kick-ass job of it. But there are people that do not get her sense of humor, that get offended very easily, and that basically cause a lot of tension in the whole class mom aspect, which is pretty accurate to real life. I mean, some people have a different sense of humor than other people, and some people are easily offended. Me personally, like, I get the raunchy sense of humor, I get the F-bombs, you know, those things don't offend me. But I do know that they do offend other people because I've been in the position that that's happened, where I've offended someone unintentionally. So she's dealing with that dynamic, and she's also dealing with the dynamic of her high school crush actually has a child in the same classroom. And so they end up meeting again, and she has these moments where she's like flirting and she realizes it's wrong, and it's one of those things where it's very realistic, because you can be happily married to someone and you have these moments, and then you have to stop yourself because you're like, what the hell am I doing? Like, this is not who I am. So she's dealing with that and the choices that she's going to make with that. She's dealing with her friends dating her trainer, and kind of the issues with that. And then she's also dealing with the mystery of a parent on the classroom list, and the mystery of if this parent and this child that they've never seen, if they really do exist. So there's kind of a little bit of everything for everyone. If you like books that are lighthearted and funny, some of those that I'm like thinking of is obviously Jen LANCASTER, Sophie Kinsella, who wrote the Shopaholic series. I mean, it's less chick lit, but still along those fluffy, like humorous moments. I'm trying to think of anyone else. Maybe David Sedaris. I love David Sedaris, but I think David Sedaris is very clever. So it's not along those same lines, but it does tickle your funny bone. So if you haven't read this book, definitely pick it up. I believe this is her debut book. So definitely a new author. I will check out anything else that she puts out. In my opinion, it's a great narrative on what it is to be a parent these days, because I can't imagine the relationships that you have to deal with outside of the classroom, because you can't pick who your child becomes friends with. Like, you just can't. And I can remember being friends with this one girl, and I'm pretty sure her mom did not like me, and I still have no idea why her mom didn't like me. But my parents were never really involved in being friends with any other parents. But I know as a half parent now, if my kids were involved and became friends with someone in the area, like really close, then I would want to know those parents. I would want to be assured, you know, that they're being taken care of, and that, you know, I understand the parenting aspect of it. Like, I get it. So I think it's a great reflection on basically all those observations, things that we don't really talk about when it comes to, you know, being a parent and dealing with other parents and teachers at that, because the teacher in this book is kind of crazy, and there's a little twist with her at the end. I kind of saw it coming, though. I know I say that a lot, but I kept going, you know what, I bet. And certainly enough, it happened. So yeah, that's the book. Again, if you haven't read her, give her a chance. I bought it off of Amazon. I believe you can probably get it off anywhere, but I mean, a lot of people have referred me to that book, so apparently a lot of people have enjoyed it. So, and I say so many times. We're coming to the end of September, which means we're coming to a new quarter, which means I started another DNF list. Of course, I didn't have any for this past 3 months. There wasn't any books that I was like, I hate this, I cannot finish it. So I will be making a list of those for the next 3 months. Because it is coming up on October, I do want to try to read more scary, or I guess seasonal books for this type of year. This is actually my favorite holiday. So anything scary, thriller, books that revolve around Halloween, please feel free to refer it to me. Please note, I will not be reading the second Hocus Pocus. Hocus Pocus played an integral part in my childhood, and I can't imagine a spinoff of it. Like, I just can't. Like, I feel like that's a road that they shouldn't have gone down. If you have read it, though, do let me know if you liked it. But I just, personally, for me, it's not gonna happen. I've been eyeing some Stephen King, because I've got a lot of Stephen King on my bookshelf. I have not read Stephen King. The only book that I've read by him is On Writing, which is an amazing book for any writer. I feel like it's probably the best book that I've ever read on writing. And the second is the Dark Tower series. I have read The Gunslinger, and I've got the rest of the series on my shelf to be read, because I'm definitely more of a science fiction kind of person, and fantasy. I tend to like that a little bit more, but I do have a few Stephen King books that my husband has actually referred me to, because he was a huge Stephen King fan when he was younger. Of course, he doesn't read now, but I've been eyeballing some of those. Kiernan, of course. I've been eyeballing some of hers, because I've got several of hers that I have not read. I'm trying to think of what else. I've seen a lot of referrals for Baby Teeth, which I think that I have that book yet. So I'm still kind of deciding whether I want to get it. So another book that I may pick back up is House of Leaves by Daniel, and I will never be able to pronounce his last name, but he's Poe's brother. I've actually attempted to read this book several times, and every time I try to read it, I dream about houses. And not just houses, but a house that I keep exploring, and it has more and more rooms. I mean, it just, I don't know what it is about that book, but it unlocks something in my brain, and like I can literally like remember like what room is where and where's the staircase. It's just, it's a very strange journey anytime I try to read that book. So if I try to read that book, it's probably going to take me a month. So I don't know. But if there is something out there that you think is very scary or exciting, or something that you would like to see me just read and decide if I like it or not, please, you know, let me know in the comments, of course. And as always, thank you guys for watching. I hope you have an amazing week, and until next chapter, thanks. Even though I said that I was going to be reading mostly scary and seasonal books next month, I do have Medicine Man that I want to devour, and I may devour it this weekend. And if that's the case, there might be an extra video this week. But otherwise, I'm going to try to stick with my theme and try to read more like seasonal or supernatural, or, you know, something having to do with Halloween. Maybe, kinda. I really like this lipstick. I usually don't like metallic lipsticks, but this one does a really good job. It's MILANI. And it stays put. See? Well, it did rub off a little bit, but as long as you're not like